So Elizabeth Warren went on The View, and there's a conservative host who pressed her on the issue of student loan debt forgiveness. The argument that the host uses is one that I feel like is very common from the crowd that opposes student loan debt forgiveness. So let's see how she reacts, and then I'll react as well.
To student loans. I mean, you've been fiercely advocating for the president to cancel student loan debts, but really only 13% of Americans even have federal student loan debt. So is this really the best way to reach most voters? And also, what do you say to someone like me who worked 2 jobs for a decade to pay off all their student loans, just finished? Where do I sign up for reimbursement?
So let's start out with who has student loans today. About 40% of the folks with student loans don't have a college diploma. They're folks who tried.
Yeah.
They're folks who tried and life happened. Pregnancies, they were already working 2 jobs and lost one of them. Mom got sick, family had to move somewhere else. And now they earn what a high school grad earns, and they're trying to pay off college level debt. And it is crushing their bones. Keep in mind that of those who have student loan debt, more than half have negative wealth. They don't have any wealth.
And they're older also. A lot of them are over 50, I was reading.
You know that right now there are tens of thousands of people who are living on Social Security who are having their Social Security checks garnished to pay student loans.
Yeah.
And so this, for me, is a question of fairness. There was a time in America when we invested in our public colleges and universities. That's how I could go to a college that cost $50 a semester, pay for it on part-time jobs. But today that option is not out there for our young people. So this is about saying, look, it's tough. We understand that. We want to invest in you. We want to invest in your getting an education.
Senator, we have less than...
So that was a fine answer. But I'm a lot more hostile to the point that the conservative host made than many people. Because her point was like, well, I already paid mine off. Where do I sign up? And I saw this on Twitter from some, I don't know, Daily Wire host or The Blaze host who was like, I just finished paying off my student loans. If there's some student loan debt elimination or reduction, I'm going to be so pissed. That is an argument for never doing anything good because the people before didn't get to experience the good things. I mean, I made this point in response to that right-wing host. Imagine I think indentured servitude went away in 1917. Or 1916, I think it was. Imagine saying in 1917, I am so pissed. I just finished my indentured servitude, and now the kids today don't have to deal with it. The people today don't have to deal with indentured servitude. Not fair. They should have to go through it like I did. Or you can make that argument about a cure for cancer. I just had a family member pass away because of cancer, and now they want to come up with a cure? Well, where do I get my family member back? Where do I go for that? It doesn't work for that now, does it? Not fair. So it's an argument for having a perpetually fucked up system because not everybody got to experience, when it got better. You could literally make that argument for slavery. I spent my whole life 60 years as a slave, and now they just get rid of it, and so my kids don't have to experience that? It's just stupid. And there's also an admission embedded in that point of like, yeah, we know the current system is fucked up. Okay, so then let's agree to fix it. She even says at the beginning, only 13% of Americans have student loan debt. Only 13%? That's a gigantic number. We have over 300 million people in the country. That's a lot of people. Now, I will say this, though, because it is going to be a common point, even though I think it's a terribly selfish point when people, what about me? My reaction to that would be, well, I'm in favor of UBI, Social Security for all, so I'd give you a check every month. But then usually what happens is if you bring something like that up, they're like, I don't support that either. Okay, well then stop complaining. If you don't have any student loans to forgive at the moment, and you don't want a UBI check, which is straight cash for you, well, then what are you doing? It's arguing for no change and the status quo in perpetuity and masking it in a sort of pseudo-intellectualism, when really it's just standard reactionary politics. So, look, don't be this person, guys. Don't be this person. Now, in the case of Elizabeth Warren, this is a point I've made over and over. If various senators and various congresspeople truly do support student loan debt elimination, if you truly supported it, and you were willing to fight for it, none of them are willing to fight. None of them even know how to fight. But what you would do is go to Biden and say, listen, I want to be on your side. I want to help you out, but you got to help me out. And, Democrats are going to get draxed in the midterms. Roe versus Wade may have changed that a touch because people are going to, more will vote now as a result of that, but I don't know how big of a difference it'll make overall. But you need to break out that executive order pen and eliminate student loan debt. And if you don't do that, I'm just not going to let anything you want to pass. If you had a group of a dozen Democrats in the House and like 5 Democrats in the Senate, and you all met with Biden and said, you don't have a choice. You are going to eliminate student loan debt. And then if and when you do that, then we're open to conversations about what other legislation is going to get passed. But until then, we'll block everything. And we'll tell people the reason we're blocking this is because he needs to eliminate student loan debt. He has the ability to do it through executive order. So force his hand to do it through executive order. And they're not going to do that. Of course they're not going to do that. They're all team players. And what's going to happen with Biden is either he'll do nothing on it or he'll do what was floated in the media, which is not eliminating it, not even $50,000 of reduction. He'll do a $10,000 reduction, and he'll means test it so it only goes to the poor and lower middle class. So it'll still screw over middle class people. It'll still leave plenty of people with student loan debt. It'll just be a tiny reduction. That's likely what's going to happen. But even that, for the loud, vocal minority of Americans who are against it, is going to be a bridge too far. Don't listen to the naysayers. They're like, the elitists are overrepresented in media because 64% of Americans want to eliminate student loan debt. 64%. So this definitely is something that would help in the polls. It would help with the working class. And it's substantively and morally the right thing to do. So he should do it. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal, Kyle, and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.